Alabama football has a huge opportunity in front of them to step up and fix one glaring issue they've had so far in 2025. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Way Offsides, your favorite source for Alabama talk here on YouTube, where we do everything everybody else does, just a little different. That's way with 4 A's, never three. Three's not enough, five's too many. Four, just like in the word Alabama. Ain't that right, Skip?
Way, this is all caps, Way. Way.
Thank you, Skip. You the man. Alabama football is on the cusp of either being great or being mortal, if you will. It's a weird team. It's bipolar. It was bipolar in 2024. It's trending to be bipolar again right now. We'll see. That is why all eyes from Alabama fans are on this Wisconsin game. You've got an 11 a.m. kickoff, which you all know how I feel about those. Ugh, I hate them. But luckily, this one's at home, at least as opposed to last year when Alabama went up to Madison. Now, this Alabama team last week looked like they were playing with their hair on fire, and that is what fans wanted to see after an embarrassing, disgusting, and deflating performance down in Tallahassee. Will that translate to a much more physical opponent in Wisconsin? That's yet to be seen, but I think it could. And we're going to talk about why. But before we get there, stick around. We're going to get there. Before we get there, please tell me your score predictions in the comment section below. Also, tonight we have Emily McWhorter on with us to talk about the access she has with Alabama, some of the things she's been able to ask coaches like Nick Sheridan, Kalen DeBoer. So be there live with us at 8 p.m. Central Time tonight, right here on YouTube. You ain't going to miss it. It's going to be a good one. We'll be talking more about this Wisconsin matchup as well as some of the other key matchups this weekend. And one nobody's talking about, that Vanderbilt South Carolina game, which I think is going to be sneaky good. Two really good quarterbacks. Should be fun. Also, while you're there, down there, leaving that comment, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do all the things. Just go ahead and do them. I'll wait. Let me know when you're done. Okay, you're finished. All right. So last year, we're going to talk a lot about 2024 and compare it to this year, because what I'm seeing right now is there are a lot of things about this Alabama team that are mirroring themselves from last year. That makes me nervous. And I think it's okay to be a little nervous. I'm not going to be unrealistic, and I'm not going to talk down on anybody. But there's a chance for Alabama with this game to really assert their dominance and build more trust in this coaching staff, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and in their ability to show up. Now, that confidence won't be full until Alabama can go on the road and carry the intensity that they had with them last week. However, they had no problem with that against Wisconsin last year. Last year was the only road game that they won, I think, if I remember correct. No, I don't remember. I think it was the only road game they won last year. Somebody tell me in the comments below. Either way, but Alabama last season, Wisconsin's starting quarterback goes out first drive of the game. And so Alabama kind of had easy sledding the rest of that game. Well, I got news for you. Wisconsin starting quarterback, Billy Edwards Jr. will likely not be playing this week. We've done a video talking about this. And instead they will play Danny O'Neal. Now, something you need to know, although that sounds like candy, right? That sounds sweet. Something you need to know is that if we're talking completion ratings and experience, Danny O'Neal might be the better quarterback here. And so Wisconsin being a very physical team, I would not be surprised if they set him in the pocket, tried to buy him time, and let him try to pick that secondary apart. Why would Wisconsin do that? Well, because they know Alabama's pass rush has not been getting to the quarterback. It's not a surprise to anybody. It's been a problem for a couple of years now. It has become a glaring issue right now. Alabama has struggled with two things defensively. That is stopping the inside run and getting quarterbacks to the ground. Kane Womack was dumbfounded last week after the ULM game. He said I think we had like 12 tackles for a loss, but not one sack. That's crazy. He's right. It is absolutely crazy. So how did Alabama fare when they went to Wisconsin last year? Well, not great. I mean, it wasn't bad, but they recorded 2 sacks in that game. One was contributed to LT Overton and the other one to Q Robinson. Now, Alabama, I think right now, I don't have the number right in front of me, but I think they've only recorded 1 sack on the season, and that was at FSU. They did not get one against ULM, to everybody's surprise. But that doesn't mean that they're not back there getting to the quarterback. They're just not getting them down on the ground. These quarterbacks, especially the more elusive ones, have been able to kind of roll out of the pocket. And Alabama's got some heavy set dudes that are chasing these guys down, and they've struggled. They've struggled to get it down to the ground. Now, Kane Womack said that it's his responsibility to put these kids in a position to where they can get more sacks. Alabama's going to need to fix that part of their game if they're planning on making a championship run. I know it's weird to say right now with that week 1 loss, but everything is still in front of Alabama. However, they are going to have to not just affect quarterbacks, they're going to have to hit quarterbacks. And they just haven't been doing it. And so it's a little frustrating to watch, whether it be some technical stuff, people, over pursuing things like that, losing contain, whatever the case may be. It still struggles. It's a struggle watch for me because I think Alabama does have the talent to do what they need to do with these quarterbacks. However, it's just been it just hasn't been working, and that responsibility falls on Kane Womack's shoulders. Hopefully, he understands that. Now, Alabama may be in a situation where they can really tee off on Danny O'Neal. I don't know why I said Danny Lewis. Danny O'Neal this weekend. Because Wisconsin, what I imagine are going to do is they're going to try to establish the run. They're a big, strong, physical Big Ten team. They're not great. However, this physical test, had another video come out earlier on this, will be very good for Alabama as they prepare for SEC play over the next 2 weeks. But off of that run game, I expect them to go play action. That is going to allow Kane Womack an opportunity to really dial it up here and really challenge his pass rush, no matter where it comes from, whether it's coming from exotic blitzes, whether it's coming from defensive linemen, however he's going to do it, however he's going to create the pressure. But Alabama, I think, will have opportunities to get this kid down on the ground. It's just a matter of can they do it. And I can tell you right now, fans will feel a lot better if they can. Again, I think that is a huge part of Alabama's game right now. That is a huge part of why quarterbacks, especially mobile ones, have been able to eat them up. If you go back and watch the FSU game, there were so many plays where Alabama was right there with Castellanos, and he was just able to get away because they didn't finish. This happened a lot last year, especially with Jackson Arnold. It happened with Diego Pavia, on the road. So now that's one thing. Let's say Alabama goes out here and they completely dominate. Let's say they hold Wisconsin scoreless, right? That's going to feel good. That's what we want to see, right? Complete domination, intensity. Same thing you saw from ULM. And I think Kalen DeBoer, listening to his comments, another video on that, watch it when you're done here, is doing what is making that a priority for the team. However, we have to see that translate on the road as well. Alabama's pass rush, as mediocre as it's been, has not shown up on the road at all since last year. I'm trying to see where Alabama ranks in terms of team sacks on the season so far. And to be honest, per NCAA.com, I don't even see them ranked, which is a big old problem. And I mean, I see a ton of other SEC teams like Auburn sitting at number 2 right now. Now, mind you, this is a very small sample size. We're only going to be 3 games into the season right now. But again, Alabama they absolutely have to focus on getting quarterbacks to the ground, being in pursuit, being in position to not just affect a quarterback, but to get the quarterback down. This is something that they haven't been good at. And we really, that is an aspect of Alabama football on the defensive side that if I see that consistently, I will feel much better about their chances of making a run this year. I think that they have all the talent in the world. That is just the one aspect of this defense that I have not seen, and I need to see it. So tell me in the comment section below if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. If you don't want to say either, just leave a big roll tide. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands. Join us tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll be talking about all of this live with you, the viewer, the people. Horns down, man. Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.